There are 5 things that you can do when you renovate your home that can end up causing attic rain. Brand new homes are a lot more airtight than older homes. We actually go into old homes really often. And the reason is renovations. Sprucing them up, making them look great, but they're making them more airtight. They forget about the attic. The attic is still the same old 50-year-old attic that lets lots of air out, and that's where attic rain gets created. One of the main culprits, if you've added pot lights to your home, what you're doing is you're cutting out the existing vapor barrier, and that's going to allow air from your house to reach up into the attic, creating frost and creating attic rain. Electricians will use self-sealing pot lights. Has a spring on the back, especially if you have a textured ceiling, that's not going to actually create an airtight gap. Little openings will exist and air will slide through those openings. If the pot light is sitting down and not flush with the ceiling, it will also not be sealed. So if you're adding 1 or 2 pot lights, you might get away with that. If you're adding, let's say 10 or 20 pot lights to your home, there's very little chance that all of those openings are going to be sealed up. When you take out older single pane sliding windows and replace them with new double or triple pane windows, you're going to completely change the breathability of the home. And when you close off the breathability around the building envelope, you're going to force that air and moisture up into your attic. Older single pane windows had fiberglass insulation stuffed around the edges, as well as the sliding factor of the window would allow air to move in and out of the home, taking moisture from the home and expelling it outside. Newer vinyl windows are very well sealed, and then they're actually spray foam insulated around the edges. Better energy efficiency, but now that air wants to go somewhere and it can end up in your attic. When you're upgrading your furnace to a high efficiency furnace, a couple of the things that are going to happen is you're probably going to put in a smaller furnace because the new furnace is going to be higher efficiency, and you're going to have a different fan speed in that furnace.
Here we have a mid-efficiency furnace. This actually creates a negative draft in your home because it needs air to feed the fire. So it's going to pull air from every little nook and cranny, and it's going to pull it in through here, which is going to create a negative draft in your home.
Right here we've got a cold air return, and this cold air return is drawing air back to the furnace to be reheated. Air actually goes in this vent. Once the air is reheated, it comes out of your vents under your window.
With a high efficiency furnace, they have their own direct vent air coming right in. So it's going to eliminate the air pulling to feed the furnace. You're going to end up with a positive pressure in your home. So if you don't have the vapor barrier sealed, it can push that air up through those areas and create attic rain. That's why when the high efficiency came out, this problem really started happening big time.
Most homes don't have nearly enough cold air return. They have a lot more supply. So if we're struggling to bring air back to the furnace and we're creating a lot higher supply of air into the room, we're going to build a positive air pressure, and that can cause attic rain in your home. In the middle of winter, you're going to be going to your thermostat, cranking the temperature up, and trying to heat your home. As you do that, you're going to be forcing hot air up into your house. That hot air takes up more space. So as you heat up your home, you're adding air pressure to the home. As well, most homes are kind of narrow and rather tall, and you're going to create a stack effect. The heat is going to rise up through the house and push on the ceiling upstairs. You're going to be pushing that warm, moist air up into your attic, and that causes attic rain. With recent Alberta home energy subsidies, a lot of people are thinking about upgrading the amount of insulation in their attic. When you upgrade the insulation in your attic, you're going to go from a very small amount of insulation, which means heat from the home leaves up into your attic and creates a warm attic. That warm attic is going to have a hard time creating frost and creating attic rain. But when you top up the insulation, creating a cold attic space. If you create a cold attic space and you have vulnerabilities in the vapor barrier allowing moisture into your attic, to make sure that before you top up your insulation to get your government grant, that you're not going to be causing a problem for yourself down the road with attic rain. Exterior renovations to your home are also going to affect the breathability significantly. Things like roofing material and siding replacements can substantially alter how the home breathes, where the moisture ends up. And if you close off that building envelope, you're going to be forcing some moisture into the attic. New roofing material, wood shingles by nature, have more air in them, more air spaces, and that allows more breathability and more drying of the attic space, whereas asphalt shingles are essentially a big layer of waterproof membrane that will not allow it to breathe whatsoever.